everybody? It's Bourbon Bill, and tonight, a very special episode. We're diving back into one of my favorite distilleries, Knob Creek, and tonight, is it a bourbon or is it a rye? It's both. Knob Creek Bourye, baby. Or bourbon and rye. Or Bourye, some people say it. Whatever. Knob Creek chose to spell it out. Bourbon times rye. Right on the label. And they took this to just the utmost in perfection. They gave you the old Knob Creek 9-year label top. And then the green 7-year label color merged together. Does anyone appreciate the coolness of that? I hope so. You might say, well, Bourbon Bill, is it 100 proof? Is it 115? Is it more rye? Is it 120 for the store picks? Because that's the only proof they ever give us. You'd be wrong. It's 113 proof. Compute 56.5% alcohol by volume. A very odd and very specific proof for them. Why, we have no idea. Hopefully they tasted it and that's what they deemed it was best at. Big shout out to Phil Boggs. Thank you, sir. Phil saw this and said, Bourbon Bill's got to have it. And I did. I wanted it. Not available in PA yet. Doesn't say limited on here, so I'm assuming a shelf bottle. So I assume my PA viewers might come soon. But thank you again, Phil, for the bottle and to try this tonight. Pretty excited this was on my list of bourbons and I guess ryes I wanted to try this year. Now, before we get back to the review, have you ever found it difficult to wake up the next day? Because you've been out having a joyous evening with the wife, having a few margaritas, some bourbons, some tequilas, whatever your choice of drink. But if you're watching this channel, it's probably bourbon. But you had too much. It's hard to get off the couch. You're tired. You're not a spring chicken anymore. That's where Z-Biotics can help you have a better tomorrow. Did you know Z-Biotics Pre-Alcohol Probiotic is the world's first genetically engineered probiotic? That's a good fact right there for you. It was invented by PhD scientists, is there any other kind, to tackle rough mornings after drinking like we just talked about you having. When you drink, alcohol gets converted into a toxic byproduct in the gut. It is this byproduct, not dehydration, that is to blame for your rough mornings. Z-Biotic produces an enzyme to break this byproduct down. Just remember to drink this probiotic before drinking alcohol, not after, because then it's too late. Drink responsibly and get a good night's sleep to feel your best tomorrow. So you might say, Bourbon Bill, where can I use this? It's summer. How about neighbor Bob's pool party out there? He's going to be serving up the finest bourbons. Take one before. Okay? It's great for that. We're almost out. I enjoy this stuff. I use it. It helps with all these blind tastings for Matt Madness. Helps when the brother-in-law and I line up, 9, 10 Sagamore ryes to drink through and decide which is the best. That's what I use it for. What are we going to do? We're going to go to zbiotics.com/bourbonbill and you're going to enjoy 15% off your first order, or you can scan the QR code down here on the screen. So hopefully this helps you out. Have a good day, and back to our regularly scheduled programming. Now the details. 45 doll hairs is the MSRP. What a good value, right? And we're going to talk a lot about the price point here because I think it's pretty critical to this offering. It is a blend of, and they tell you right here, can you just love the transparency? 30% 9-year bourbon, 70% 7-year rye. Right on the label. So this is a blend of their 9-year Knob Creek 9, on the shelf, 100 proof for you though. And their 7-year Knob Creek rye also on the shelf. I've done videos on that, I'll link one above. Also 100 proof. So it's odd that this is more than 100, right? We would have thought, it's going to be 100, right? It's going to be that it's dumped them together and it's 100. They didn't do that. They didn't do that. Only other interesting thing on this bottle, though, is notes of vanilla, caramel, and pepper. That's it. Simple. You're going to get some vanilla, some caramel, and some pepper. Color, not too dark, but you know, their ryes are kind of light, even at a higher age. I don't know. And it says 70% of rye. There it is in the glass. Kind of light for 113 proof. Let's give it a nosing. Oh, man. It smells great. I get a little bit of oak on here, right? And I get some like citrus floral type notes. That's the rye spice coming through. And on the back, I do get a lot of caramel. It's like each time I go back for a scent, I'm getting something different. You know, I'm getting Knob Creek 9. Now I'm getting Knob Creek 7 rye. Like the nose is quite interesting. So I'd say it has the predominant Knob Creek flavors of like brown sugar, some oak, some caramel, right? That's usually what you get in Knob Creek, the bourbons anyway. But it does carry the rye spice, a little bit of citrus, a little bit of floral from the rye. A little bit of nuttiness peeking through in the nose there as well. Let's take a sip. Man, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. So you get a lot of pepper on the finish. I'm getting a little bit of spicy pepper on the finish. I get some rye spice, like a rye bread note, a lot of caramel, a little bit of vanilla. I see where they say vanilla. It's weird, you know, and there's a little bit of oak in there and like some peanut butter coming across like the nuttiness in there, but it's like a peanut butter oak, caramel, dash of vanilla, and a lot of pepper sandwich. Okay, that's exactly what we're getting on the palate here. One more sip. Is it a must-have? Is it like the best thing ever? No, it's not that. It's very good. It's a very good price point. It's an interesting blend from Knob Creek that you don't normally see. I think you do get some good perks with their rye and some good perks with their bourbon. I think it's pretty cool. Now, price point wise, Knob Creek 7-year rye is about $35 here MSRP. Knob Creek 900 proof is about $35 here MSRP. Okay, so if you were to buy both those bottles, you'd be in it at $70, right? And sure, you could make more, but for only $10 more than buying one of those bottles, you're getting both in here at 13 proof points more. So the value here is pretty good, okay? Is this better than Knob Creek 9, just regular bourbon? Probably. You know, I don't have any, so we're not going to be able to do that comparison. Probably. Is it better than Knob Creek 7 rye on its own? Probably. My brother-in-law is sick, so I couldn't get his bottle. I didn't want to go near his, feverdom area over there. So I've reviewed that before. Probably. I'd say this is a little bit more interesting than those, right? And the price point's not that much higher. So I like it, Is this going to beat some pretty good store picks at 60, 65 of the bourbon? Or, an older store pick of the rye? Probably not. Okay, but they're 65-ish $, right? Is this going to beat Knob Creek 10 rye? No. Is it going to beat Knob Creek 12 bourbon? No. But they're both $70, right? So they've priced it kind of perfectly where it belongs, which is rare today. It really is rare, okay? They could have priced it a lot higher, and for all that, they gave you the 13 proof points extra. Pretty cool, Knob Creek. Pretty cool. Now, you might say, what are the comparisons tonight, Bourbon Bill? They're home blends. In the low proof but higher age corner, we got Knob Creek 12 bourbon and Knob Creek 10-year rye. We're mixing them together to make a 100 proof higher age Bourye rye. And in the, higher proof corner, perhaps, by a little bit, we got store picks of each. This is a rather disappointing Knob Creek rye pick from Fine Wine and Good Spirits at not even 6 years old. But the bourbon is an 11-year pick from Drug City. So, I don't know. This way isn't fair, but I don't know. Let's see how these blends work out. They're going to be blended and rested all of probably 30 seconds once I mix them up here to really give them time to mingle. Gonna put them in some minis. Scientific here. We've got the little mini measure. So first up is our high age but lower proof blend of the Knob Creek 10-year rye and the Knob Creek 12-year bourbon, both at 100 proof, compute 50% alcohol by volume. Price on both of those is a $70 hair MSRP. All right, we've swirled it for all of 5-10 seconds. It's been sitting together about that long as well. Let's give it a nosing. Oh, why didn't you make this, Knob Creek? Gosh, there's so much more oak here. Way more oak, way more caramel, way more brown sugar. It's all just richer with the extra oak. It really elevates it. I'm getting some fruit. Surprisingly, though, oak's a predominant scent. Back to the real Bourye. I don't know. You know, the Knob Creek 10-year rye is so oak heavy that I think this comes across solely as a bourbon, even though it's 70% 10-year rye on the nose. Down the hatch on the high age, low proof blend. Oh, that's phenomenal. Wow. 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 Okay, I like that better. It's a lot more oak. A lot more oak. Man, okay. Not as spicy, not as much pepper. There's not as much like fruity rye spice going on. I will say that. But a lot more oak, just like old dusty oaks, well seasoned on there. There is some rye spice. There's a lot more brown sugar, a lot more caramel action going on. No vanilla and no fruit, so that kind of takes away from the bourbon and rye that they picked, right? And certainly none of that vanilla pepper note, like we said. So I like that blend better. Why didn't they do that? It's obvious, right? Knob Creek would rather sell you the higher age stuff, right, than mix it together. And they probably have less barrels of those. So that's why they didn't do that. All right, next up, probably the bigger wild card of the night. All this, the higher proof blend. Ages, interesting here, right? Because we got an 11-year store pick bourbon in here at 120 proof. And like not even a 6-year store pick rye at 115. So proof, you know, 70% raw. I don't know. Someone do the math and comment what that proof would really be. But it's going to be north, I think, of 116. Somewhere in there. Let's give it a nosing. This actually doesn't smell as good as the high-aged blend over there. It's got some oak, but it's got like just more of a tobacco thing going on. So this actually smells a lot closer to the actual Knob Creek Bourye. Just without the like peanut brittle thing going on that the real Bourye does. All right, down the hatch. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's very similar to this bourbon rye though. Very similar. It's sweet. It's got that rye bread, rye spice, a little bit of fruitiness, a little bit of oak, a lot of caramel. Interesting. So although it's only 30% of the blend, the 11-year bourbon, which is pretty oak heavy, pick is drowned out by the only 6-year rye. And it didn't feel spicy, or didn't have the pepper though of the actual Bourye. All right. Wow, I'm digging the actual Bourye's got some like citrus notes. I think that might be better. Actual Bourye down the hatch. Yeah. Okay, so the actual bourbon rye is a buy for $45 hairs. Absolutely. I think it's an interesting, unique offering from Knob Creek. Bourbon Bill's rating tonight is an A. So the A rating is very good. MSRP is right there. It's a good value. It was better than our store pick blend. Your mileage may vary on that. If you have this rye is pretty bad that I have. If you have a better rye, it could be better. It could be. We don't know. It is not as good though as my high age Knob Creek 12 and Knob Creek 10 mix. But that's just because I'm a no count. So if you like what you saw tonight, please like, comment, and subscribe. Also consider joining Patreon. Thanks again. We'll see you next time. Have a great evening, everybody.